It's that time, man.
It's that
Band of
time.
Brothers. Band of Brothers. This episode 3, huh?
Episode 3, man. Band of Brothers, man.
Carentan.
Carrington. Yep. They had no good
Carentan.
old Normandy on this one, man. Good
Yeah.
old Normandy.
Yeah, Carentan, man. And
Yeah, man. I know you be going in depth on these books, man. So I try to get my little bit in, you know.
no, we could just go
Just
together on this one, man. I got some
okay.
stuff. I'm sure you got some stuff. So
Yeah. For me, man, this one was mostly about individual in this episode. They always this one guy was like the main focus on this. Now a lot of stuff happened. There was most of this episode was about war. I mean, there was most definitely a lot of fighting in this episode, but they singled out one of the characters. His name was
Blythe.
Blight. Was Blight.
Yeah.
Singled him
yeah.
out, man, and to me in this episode, he had some mental health issues that was going on, and the way it started was deep. It was him just standing there, like pretty much staring at the sky, as they walk up. That's how the whole episode started. From that point on, man, that he wasn't like all in. You know what I mean? Like he had some stuff going on, man. And so the whole episode was about his mental challenges that he had during the episode. And I think at the end of the episode, he did pass away. He did end up dying in this episode.
Oh,
and,
you stayed for the credits this time? You stayed for the
no, I
words?
still ain't stay for the credits though. We stay for the credits.
So how you know he died?
Because it's the way it's something happened at the end where they was given, huh?
I'm gonna talk about it. I know you at the cleaners, right? With the clothes.
Yeah, that's how I
and
know
the dude face.
Yeah, that's how I know it. Yeah.
So
but it was one more thing I would add though, man. That was crazy here though. So in his mental health state, this guy tried to help him out and talk to him about like what do you need to do to get past, his mental issues.
Yeah.
And the guy stated, soon as you accept that you're gonna die, you will be a better soldier.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That was crazy right there, man. Like that's mental toughness right there, man. Sometimes I know we talked about it before. Mental toughness. That's right. That's the mental toughness. Don't worry about it, player. You gonna die anyway, so might well just go hard, right? That's what he said.
That's crazy. Sick.
Yeah,
sick.
Crazy.
Man. Blythe. Yeah. What I like about the show is that it plays out like an anthology series where it's a new story every episode. It's a complete story every episode, but we still following the same group of soldiers. Easy Company, and the overall story is still progressing, but it's like a sub story, man, and it's really good. Like the sub story is always like really engaging. This one, like you said, it was about fear, man. It was about fear. With Blythe, and even in the intro when they opened up, they started, they talked about fear.
Yeah.
And it's good to seeing these guys, man, like tear jerking and stuff like that. But again, man, like he was like, like how do we combat fear? He was like, the biggest thing is just the hope that our training, trained us enough that that's what we fall to. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to even think like, we gonna fall to the training no matter how. And I talked about it last week, but it's like, no matter how dangerous, no matter how scary the situation, we have our training, to back us up. And we say that like a lot of these instructions and stuff is like written in blood. You know what I mean? And that's like the kind of rule that we follow when we say training, like, train how we going to practice, how we going to perform and stuff like that. Cause you never know when you in that scenario, when you have to perform.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
that's
mean?
what you fall back to. That's what you fall back to. It's facts.
Yeah, man. So the episode starts 2 days after D-Day, right? So we back, and these guys, they got to take, Carentan is the name of the town that they have to take from German soldiers, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I appreciate about the episode is the realism. It's a lot of realism in this episode, but it comes out like subtly. Like when you see them kind of like trying to bargain off things like souvenirs from the loss, like other soldiers, enemy forces that they strip stuff from, like watches and stuff like that. And it's something that we know happened, but it's something that's barely ever like kind of, talked about, because there's no reason to talk about that type of stuff in like the history books, that
Yeah.
soldiers was stripping other forces for their gear and stuff like that. So that was one. um another one is the camaraderie, man. I love watching the military films, and seeing the camaraderie, and seeing that these guys are like just like us.
Yeah.
They talk shit to each other, they joke around, they have a good time just like us. And then it's like that much camaraderie, like in a time like this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like to be like for them to be going through all this and still able to like joke around, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was moments in the show where like they be joking, and then you just boom, like a hit, like some bullets or something.
Yeah. It was most definitely some real talking there, man. Like it's like when you listen to them talk to each other, I be thinking like, man, that's some shit I fucking say. Like they running
Yeah.
from like all of a sudden, the lieutenant telling them to get to a certain point. They start running to this point, and then they start getting bombarded with a lot of bullets and stuff, and everybody else can't make it to the spot. Only two of them make it to the spot. And I remember one of them turning around like, what the fuck is everybody else? What the hell happened?
Yeah.
That's some shit I said. Like, what the
Yeah.
hell happened? Like, yeah, man, it was
Yeah.
crazy like that. But
They
but all the stories are like that, man. It's real. Like that's the good thing about this show. Man, it's like real stuff. The conversations are like real. So they made that stuff as real as they could when they made this
Yeah,
movie.
man.
The show.
Spielberg and Tom Hanks, man. Like, but this whole episode to me was amazing. And I
Yeah.
know we ain't say we gonna rate it yet, but this episode was really good. Like, it's every episode has been better so far, like better than the last.
Yeah.
Improved. So I know it's history and we need it, right? But me personally, I feel weird watching us fight our allies, man. Like now, or like some of the slang that they use against them, the derogatory terms and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
watching it now feels weird, like because I've been to Japan. I know it's our history,
Yeah.
but I've been to Japan, and it's a good time over there, good people over there. So it's always weird watching it now. So, in my opinion, watching it now sometime and seeing that or whatever.
Yeah.
So they get to then it goes from 2 days after D-Day to 6 days after D-Day, right? And they going up against the German forces. And hey man, did you see like the amount of detail that they put into this dude getting his foot blown off, man?
Oh.
Like you saw them there. Did you see that?
Yes. Dude, they put in detail. And then this is 2001 too, though. You know what I mean? Like
man.
it's like amazing, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
Like he was like, you saw everything. Like normally they shoot, they'll shoot something and they shoot past it, or you saw like everything kind of like open up. Like it was crazy. You saw the foot blow away. You saw like the meat. It was crazy. It was nasty as hell, but it was crazy. And then right after that, Winters was like doing, like Lieutenant Winters was doing like admin work, man. like I don't know if you remember this, like, but he was doing like he was leading or whatever, like watching the detail and doing all that stuff. But like he had the clipboard out damn near, like somebody was giving him reports. And it's funny because I felt weird watching. I'm like, damn, Winters, he ain't in a fight. Then he got shot.
Yeah.
Remember?
It was like a ricochet or something, right? Because
the ricochet hit him. Yeah,
Yeah.
the ricochet hit him. It's like, oh shit! Like I'm still at war. I'm still in the middle of a war, man. I need to put this clipboard up
because they cleared it. Yeah, most definitely.
I'm listening.
Yeah. Because they kind of like cleared that, so they thought they was good to go. You know what I mean? While he was standing there. No,
it was like a side street. It was like a side street though. Like clip he got. But let's talk Blythe, man. Blythe, man.
Yeah.
Did Blythe have a moment it started, right? They said Blythe was like suffering from hysterical blindness, right? Mm-hmm. And you think he had a nervous breakdown?
Well, yes, I think he had a nervous breakdown. I think he had some mental stuff he saw, and it kind of took him out the fight, man. You could kind of tell, look in his eyes and stuff, like he really wasn't there, man. He really didn't want to do nothing. You see, he balled up a couple times and couldn't move. You know what I mean? He couldn't do stuff. You know what I mean?
And it was the shame too, right? So if you're listening to us and you haven't watched this show, right? This soldier Blythe, when we see him, the next time we see him after we were introduced to him, the next time we see him, he's like in the hospital, in the corner after Winters got shot, he's getting looked at by the doctor, and you see Blythe in the corner, and they pretty much saying, he's like, "Hey, what's wrong with him?" He's like, "Nothing except for the fact that he's saying that he can't see." So he's saying
Mm-hmm.
like he's pretty much blind, right? And
Yeah.
so that was my thing. Like, yo, did this dude have a mental breakdown? Like, what's going on with him? And if anybody ever knew anybody that actually went through that, like out there, in a fight, I would love to hear, well, not even to hear, just to know that story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, most definitely, man. Because yeah, I didn't understand because he kept going. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. I don't know. It wasn't like he was out to fight. You know what I
Well,
mean?
Winters
So
talked to him,
yeah,
right? Winters
yeah.
talked to him, and I think Winters handled the conversation well,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
think Winters handled Blythe like well the whole time. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So he talked to him, and then somehow he just got up and was like, "I could see again." You know what I'm saying? And then he
yeah,
was ready to get back out there. But when we finally found out like really what happened, like he fell asleep and his whole unit, like when he woke up, he fell asleep in the pit at D-Day. Like on a beach. I think he was on the beach in Normandy, and he fell asleep. And when he woke up, his whole like unit was like gone. He didn't say dead or not. He just
yeah,
didn't know where they were, and he said he didn't look for them. I mean, but he kind of revealed that later on in the episode. So it's slang words, right? Kraut. The word kraut was used to describe Germans. The word Jerry was used. A lot of derogatory insults and stuff that we were using back then. So I noticed that they put them in there. But we talked earlier, and like, well, I was talking about like two dudes could just be talking, like having a regular conversation, and then like some bullets hit, and I call them break scenes, right? It remind me of like a Tarantino movie where like you might get like two characters talking about like anything, comparing like albums, and then like they knock on the door and like kill somebody, right? It's like a break in the action, but it's something that like pop culture or something relevant that we always talk about. That happens a lot in this show, like that style of storytelling where these guys is having a normal conversation and then like a war break out or something happen.
yeah,
Mental toughness, I wrote that down too. Actually, I wrote that in my notes. Mental toughness for Blythe. He was scared, man.
yeah,
He was in fear, bro. Like that dude was scared. Um, LT Harry, I forgot his name, Harry, but he the dude that they said killed all the German soldiers. Um, he definitely wasn't like fragile with Blythe's like emotions at all, right? Blythe's emotions. And I mean, at this point, you in the shit. Like it's wartime. Like I don't know how you could be in wartime when this man's supposed to be able to cover, able to shoot, able to kill, to
yeah,
protect you and to defend, our country. Um, even though Winters handled it great, this other dude didn't, though, of course, right? He said it was just a game. He was like, "Yo, being out here is just a game.
mm-hmm.
We just gotta focus on winning, man. You
Yeah,
just figure out it's a game."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, and I said I never thought about like in that kind of scenario or situation, right? Something as simple as somebody waking you up out your sleep. The repercussions that could have, right? Because the dude had like a blade on his rifle. Dude woke him out of sleep. He stabbed him.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people get like if you're not ready to wake up, a lot of people wake up violently.
yeah, hysterical. Yeah, you like,
You ever had to wake somebody up in a rack like for watch, like when you was a
oh,
junior sailor, like your
yeah,
relief? Like,
I did have to wake people up, man. But lucky for me, I was already being told like how to wake people up. Don't just
yeah,
go
right. Yeah,
nobody.
it's a
You know what I'm
lesson.
saying? He was telling me like, hey, go to my rack. Knock. Don't grab nobody. Don't reach in a rack. None of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yo.
yeah, for
It's like
real,
a
man.
whole guideline like to how you
Yeah,
wake somebody up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like like you said, don't put your finger through them curtains. Like
yeah,
mine would be like I'm standing back behind the curtain. Hey, hey, Damon,
yeah,
Damon,
yeah,
Damon. Because you're not trying to you're not trying to wake up the other people either. So you're
yeah.
trying to be loud but
Trying to,
low enough to
yeah,
like, hey, you got to watch, man. Then you got some people that you got to stay up till you see their legs swing out the
yeah. If
rack.
you
You know
don't,
what I
they,
mean?
yeah,
Because they might
man.
go back in, man.
Yeah,
But
man.
imagine being out, out there somewhere you done dug up a ditch or something like that. You sleep, you got your rifle, you armed, and then you get that somebody shake you or wake you up. And dude did it. He was being careful, like, "Hey, man, you got watch." And dude like, "Who? What? What?" He woke up in like a disarray. and he stabbed the dude or whatever like that. But that sound editing, man. Can we talk about that sound editing, man? I got you watching this on surround sound speakers?
No, I actually watched it. I watched it on my laptop.
Oh man, hey, when you get a chance, watch this on something with some
Yeah,
sound.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean,
Nice.
and I'm watching this on my upstairs. I got the big boys downstairs, the
Yeah.
7, but I'm watching this upstairs on the Bose surround sound speakers, man. Not a
Hmm.
not an ad for Bose, but I'm watching this on those, and it's crazy how great this thing sounds. I kind of want to watch an episode downstairs just to see how,
Yeah, it
um,
sounds too, huh?
like,
Yeah.
yeah, how immersive that experience is. But that sound editing is crazy. But Winters, right? Winters didn't give up on Blythe, right? Even
Yeah.
even like at the very like height of the battle, he actually motivated him to start shooting.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He motivated him to start shooting. That's what I do want to talk about, right? When shit got thick, man. When shit
Yeah.
when the Germans brought the tanks out, man, and it looked like we was gonna lose, man. Second Armored, Second Armored came out there looking like Prince Ali, man.
Yeah, man. Boy, like what the fuck?
He was propped up. He was Second Armored came out. He's like ready to go, man.
Yeah.
Second Armored came out there like the cavalry, man. I
Yeah,
don't know if
man.
you remember that, man. Like I don't
I,
know if you
they
remember
kept
that. They was
showing.
on
They
the
kept
Shermans.
showing it. They kept showing it like it
Yeah,
was
they
one.
kept
It was like it
showing.
was a big deal. Like he was sitting on
Yeah.
that thing like this. Yeah. He came out standing up on that back, man. He was ready to
They was
go.
like, yo, they go to Shermans. they go to Shermans. Next thing you know, they was like, it's Second Armored. Just came there, they cleaned that shit up quick, bro. They wiped the
Mhm.
whole thing out, man.
Yeah,
That was
man.
funny to me, man. That was funny to me.
How about
Um,
that? How about that one peak part, man? Where and I don't know how this happened. Remember, old boy was trying to shoot the he was trying to shoot the tanks with this grenade launcher, man. Not with the grenade launcher, but the rocket launcher.
oh yeah,
Man, and that dude deep, man, they aimed that damn tank right at them. I was
yeah,
like, what?
yeah.
That
And
was
they got
crazy.
like in front of it. Like they didn't have
Yes.
any, like all they had was the only cover they had was like shooters, like other people
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
They didn't have any cover.
In
They
the
got right in
opening.
front of
In the
that shit.
opening. I was like, oh hell no,
Yeah,
man.
that shit. That was crazy, man. And then
Yeah.
like Blythe, man. So this whole episode's about Blythe and like motivating him to like finally, step up and shoot, fight, and when
Yeah.
Blythe finally, when he finally bought into the fact that he was at war, he wasn't scared no more. He got hit by a sniper, man.
Yeah. Like in the neck
He
or
got
something, right?
he got hit right in the neck by a sniper, man. When he finally bought into it, man,
Yeah.
and his eyes set. Man, this actor, man, he did great. His eyes told the story, man.
Yeah, man.
His
Yeah.
eyes told the story. So then they got sent back, right? They got sent back to England, right? But this was like right after Blythe got hit. So it's like they probably like after your man get hit, you probably ready to go and storm that chapel or whatever that building that they was trying to go. You trying to avenge your man,
Yeah.
And I know it's war and I know it's not personal attack, but when your guy get hit and he land, and somebody that actually been in a fight could kind of talk to us about this, but they man just got hit, like y'all hit my guy. We going in there. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That's what I would be thinking. Like we going in there, because he was just looking out. You know what I mean? But another thing I saw was like back then, man, they was comparing, and it's not real, so it's fiction, so it probably didn't happen, but I could see it happening. That when Blas was on a where he was at the hospital and the other dude was on the bed, he had just got like his third
Third.
Purple Heart.
Yeah.
He got like his third Purple Heart, and the dude was like, like, yo, that's your third one. He's like, for what this time? It was like, something that wasn't, he was like, well, they had to give me one for this and this and this the one for this. He's like, meanwhile, that guy got, just one. You know what I mean? And he was wrapped up like a mummy, man. They
Yeah,
had
man.
blood wrapped all the way up. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, but that's like the whole giving people NAMs for stocking up a soda machine, argument. That's that same, yeah,
Whoa. Yeah, man.
yeah, that's that same argument where people comparing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
things. Personally, I don't think you could compare different jobs. That's my
Yeah, me either.
personal,
Like
yeah,
so if like comparing that job and comparing like filling solar machines and something like that, so that's their job. You know what I mean? So like me, I'm doing DC stuff, man. I'm working on freaking firefighting equipment, but that's my job. You know
Yeah,
what I mean, to work on that equipment. So if I'm doing over and beyond for that job, yes. If you only, man, you don't even understand. Like people be trying to talk about soda machines and talk about all this, the ship store and all this. They shouldn't be doing. Hey, go on deployment. You ain't got no sodas. Go on deployment. You ain't got nothing in that ship store. Yeah, get what kind of morale you're gonna have on board that ship then, right?
yeah,
So you don't hear that much about it because those guys doing a great job of having their stuff together, having everything stocked, making sure you getting that stuff to the ship on time because you're in the middle of the freaking ocean. So them guys are doing a great job and they deserve what they get.
yeah. And we know they doing a lot more than
Yeah,
filling up
yeah,
soda
most
machines. They
definitely,
doing a
most
lot
definitely.
more than that. But shout out to them Philly boys. You know what I'm saying? I know you saw that part in the episode, unless it passed you. You
Yeah,
know
that
what I
probably
mean? But the
passed
dude
me,
was like,
man.
he's
Yeah.
like, yo, you from Philly?
Oh, I
Yeah, where you
remember
from?
that part, but I
17th
ain't.
Street.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
it
from
passed
Front
me
Street.
though.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them Philly boys, man. We might not be in the playoffs, but we on Band of Brothers. You know
Yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
right.
So
That most definitely in the playoffs, but yeah,
yeah, man. So
yeah,
Donnie Wahlberg, right? So so they all get in the lunchroom, they all happy. I don't know if you know who Donnie Wahlberg. You know Mark Wahlberg, of
yeah.
course, right?
His, yeah,
That's
yeah,
his brother, right?
brother. Yeah,
He
I know he
looking
got
up
a
like
brother. I know his brother played in a couple movies or whatever. But if I saw him in a movie and nobody
you don't
tell
know.
me,
Yeah, you
I
won't
probably
know.
won't be able to
Yeah,
know. Yeah,
yeah, that's him in Band of Brothers. So
yeah.
like he gets up, and he got to get a news. First he say, "Hey, that training event that we had going on. Now they're in England. They cool. They away from France. They cool. They having fun, laughing, smiling, happiest that they could be. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's people getting help and stuff like that. Hey, he gets up there. He like, hey, that training event we had scheduled is canceled, um,
Mm-hmm.
and we going back to England. So, go ahead and write your wills if you don't got your wills done. Oh no, he said we going back to France. Go ahead and write your wills if you don't got your wills done because we getting up out of here, yo. And all the happiness and everything like that was done.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Quick.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is how they close the episode, man. And that's part of like what just make me like think every time I watch this show, like it gets better and better because like so they close this episode with the dude going to the cleaners to pick up like his uniform or something like that. And the lady at the cleaners, she like, oh, let me give you such and such. He said he was gonna
Mm-hmm.
come or whatever. He ain't come. Dude was dead. He never gonna get his clothes again. And then she rattled off like she's like, oh, I got to. She's like, since you picking them up, I got a couple more. And
Mm-hmm.
she rattled off like 8 names, and all them dudes, his face, like the way his face was, like none of them. And then the last name, of course, was Blythe. The last name, of course, was Blythe, and then the
Yeah.
episode closed out.
Yeah.
But
That's
so
how I
that
know.
was
That's how you asked me how I knew. Yeah, that's how I know.
yeah, that was a
How
hell
they
of a
go.
way to close up. Yeah, but so after that, the words came up and they actually
Yeah,
said
yeah,
like blah.
yeah.
But that was a hell of a way to close the episode. I'm actually at this point, it's about to be. I'm anticipating. Like at first, I thought like again, like we watching these, it might be kind of. Now I'm anticipating to
Yeah,
watch the
yeah.
next episode. Like I'm
Exactly.
ready to see, what
Yeah,
happens
and you
next.
know what? Speaking of that last few minutes of the episode, man, like when you thinking and I know these guys who make these movies and stuff, they be they thinking of stuff way in advance and way ahead of time, man. But think about that. Only thing last time we seen Blythe when he was wrapped up, if that episode would have went off like that, we would have knew what happened to Blythe. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We would have knew because last thing we seen was him just wrapped up. But when they showed the part where he was in there, he didn't get his gear, his clothes or whatever. We kind of we knew then that he ain't come and pick that up. He's done. So that's
yeah,
a good way to end that episode, man.
yeah. That was a good way.